did you clothe the naked? Did you feed the poor? Right? Did you welcome the
How
stranger?
did you do that?
Right. So Jesus, there's several examples of Jesus asking people, or telling people that if you want salvation, you are going to move towards justice. Right? If we are people, and I'm going to dip into my beliefs a little bit. If the universe cycles towards peace, right? You can't have peace without justice, right? No justice, no peace, right? We've heard that before. Other people have said that.
These are.
So if we are representative of the universe, then we must instinctively right action, correct action, is movement towards peace. And if there are an aggrieved people, right, in which there are, right, FBAs, there are an aggrieved people, there is no justice. Does that make sense, or am I just?
No, you're making perfect sense. That's the
Yeah,
overall concept,
no.
And you touched on it very beautifully. How essentially there's a lot of white Americans who believe that.
Maybe later. Alright, so we got censorship mode on. So some things you just can't say yet. Test. A normal test. Normal talking voice test. Just about in red. There needs to be a master volume for the whole session. So I listened back to it earlier, or some of it, and it was hella quiet over there. Let's put you out of the way. It's just like, yeah, I guess we can have. Test one. Ooh. I think something right. I can't not test it, so let's do that quickly. I'm lucky in the mood just to play a game and not speak, but let's test this audio. One, two. Yo. We ain't got sound. Haha. Yo, 1, 2. Might be an issue with the program here. Why don't we have sound? Check 1, 2. I can't see that we have sound from our callers. External headphones not available. Oh, it just disconnected on its own. I think we've got technical difficulties. Yo. There we go. Oops. Yo. Ah, man, how long are we going to keep having technical difficulties for? I think both, HHU. You want to come up and change my mind, you're welcome to. I think both should be banned. I think any kind, really. Right, anyways, I don't know what to do about this, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Just gonna make like a believer and ignore it. Right, so that's bullets inside. What's my reasons for the czar? So just the act of smoking itself is harmful to your body. And then when you start talking about the czar, to use your terminology, also damages your brain in a very different way to other things like grits. I don't even know if we're being censored right now. So that would be why. Damages your brain. Alright, almost set up, folks. Bear with me 1 minute. The request box is available. So if you want to come up, debate any topic, I'll be willing to listen. Should we give this guy humanity or nah, it'll just be a waste at this point. What we need to do is clap that boss. Oh yeah, I mean, I try not to say it like that, but technically, yeah, it's responsible for to the drop. Hear me try to speak after dinner. It's fine. It's responsible for the reduction of 6 to 8 IQ points, particularly in people who use it before the age of 25. So by that standard, yeah, you could say it does make them a little bit dumber. Let's see if we can get this boss out of the way. But we're like, kind of like no armor. We got this, but it does nothing. So what might be worth doing is dropping it out. Oh, jump off the edge. But yeah, so if you want to speak to me about anything at all, hit the request box on the bottom. It's working, I think, so. I'm gonna do that little floating butterfly boss. I don't know what's called. Like one of the forest bosses. That might be it. Ah, every time this thing gets away. Halberd's great, but sometimes it's just a weird. It's like a weird angle. I didn't know it was gendered. Sort of as a bug. A non-binary butterfly. It's still connected. I ain't got to play it. I don't know if I ever will get to play it. Ty, don't know. What are your thoughts? Feel free to come up and tell me. I've got one of the original Wolverine games, PS3. That's not that good. Yo.
It's good set.
Oh, you're English?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
I think I've been following you for like a year now, you know, or like 2 now.
Really?
Must have been like 18, bro.
Huh?
Yeah, I must have been like 18 when I came across you, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're 19 now?
I'm 20.
Well, then that's more than a year.
I can't believe I've been following you. I remember when I first met you, bro. I think you must have been talking about like how
Met
you
me?
invented God. No, not met you, innit? Like,
Okay.
when I first came across you, I think it all started when I seen you debating about humans invented God.
Possibly.
From then, I was just like, this guy's got some interesting debates. I was seeing bad guys attacking you, and I was like, yeah, this guy's got any more interesting.
Getting spammed is a good sign, I guess.
Humans invented God, smoking should be banned.
Debate any topic.
You know what? I'm not a smoker. How do you think you saying smoking should be banned? I could hear that. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's beneficial for the society, especially. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's beneficial, Trying to think of examples of maybe why. I guess you're smoking something that appears in fire. You might be able to give other people. I mean, a secondary asthma. What else? But I can't really think of too many. What would you say though? Like, why do you think it should be banned?
Like literally responsible for 10% of all deaths in the world every year. About 8 million direct smokers, 1.6 of them there's second-hand smokers. That's like children, family members, friends, strangers on the street.
Yeah.
We make a lot less to what we spend looking after the sick and the dead. So financially it's bad. It disproportionately targets children and people from poor backgrounds. So there's a bunch of reasons. The production process is as a kid.
Oh.
So the production process is also somewhat immoral.
What I guess what stopped you from smoking? Like, did it you just had like a realization or something, or like what was it?
I guess I just kind of grew out of it eventually. I wouldn't say it was like a snap realization. It was just I don't know. It's just like one of those things you don't notice when you're changing, but you just change kind of thing.
Yeah. So you don't even think like, because obviously I don't smoke as well, and like I don't really think it's beneficial. I don't think it does anything. But like, would you be interested in the idea of like? Actually, no. You maybe not. I'm still gonna ask, but like, would you be interested in like zones where like it's specifically for smoking?
No. No, we already have dedicated smoking areas. Have for like, the latter half of the 2000s.
I guess we have. Yeah, we do have areas, but like, actually no. I was gonna say maybe like a bit more concealed, but I think that wouldn't be a good idea.
Just as dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking about that still. I would say I agree with you still. It doesn't really cause any benefits.
What are your thoughts on the God one?
I would. I'm trying to think, like, the concept of God, like, because when I think of the Bible, for example, obviously I'm Christian and like that. When I think of the Bible, humans obviously did write the Bible. Like, humans did write the Bible. We do say that it was inspired by God, so we believe that they wrote what they saw. It still doesn't really it's not really concrete. So if you was to argue and say that you're just arguing that humans actually wrote the Bible instead of like some sort of divine entity, you'd be right, because we can't really account for something we don't know. Like, some people say, I would say that it's divinely inspired, but we can't really account for that. I haven't really seen anybody divinely inspired. Kind of more of an assumption, isn't it?
True. What does that even look like?
Yeah, like I'm not one of those, like, you might hear people like, I was inspired by like the Holy Spirit and stuff like that. I don't really try to talk like that because I don't really know what that is. But I would say the only type of maybe interaction I've had, I think I closed my eyes one time, saw a light on the left and my right. That's about it. But none of this like.
What, with your eyes closed?
Yeah, that was about it.
What kind of light did you see?
It was like a bright light, and like I remember I must have been like 17. I closed my eyes. I was praying, and like I wasn't going to a church at the time.
You didn't pass out.
Nah, cause it was like a big prayer in the ceremony, innit? So like when that happened, I was praying for like maybe like a minute. I remember seeing like these two bright lights on the left and right, and I was like, what the flip? But yeah, after that, I opened my eyes. That's about it. Other than that,
so you saw light while your eyelids were closed.
Yeah.
That's explainable. It's possible someone took a picture or something.
What? Nothing else I wouldn't really say. What, like, did you grow up as a Christian, sir?
Nah.
Oh,
I could say it was culturally Christian, but not like it's like one hit away. Culturally Christian, but not like a religious attendee. Both somewhat, but more grandparent.
Oh, so like what? I'm gonna assume like you seem like I want to ask you, but you seem like maybe like you started questioning things from maybe like a young age, like 11, 10.
No, not really. Oh. I didn't really start thinking about these things until like. Honestly, when I was in school, I used to debate on behalf of God, like against atheists and shit. So I was like pretty much following cultural cues of what it is to be a believer, like, but just not like committed to a religion per se. but like it was the Christian God, of course, right? But I would say it wasn't until like recent years in my life where I was like, okay, let's like break these things down. Where did I get this idea from? How does it serve me? Where did that idea come from? How does that serve me? And that's how I arrived at this kind of understanding.
It was more of a thing like you start to realize that most of the things you were thinking, it was just mainly assumptions that you got like from other people.
Yeah, but quite unjustified as well. So it's kind of deep. But it's not deep like, like, oh man, this is world shaking.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, this kind of doesn't make sense.
So maybe I got like maybe like some questions for you maybe because I got some ideas in it. Things like respect, dignity, honor. What else? Like these type of words, I don't really think that they exist. What do you think about that?
The words themselves or the ideas?
Like as in the concept of like respect, all these type of things, I don't really believe in any of them. Like I follow the motto of like I allow people to speak to me as they deem fit. Like when people address me with certain words or maybe arguments, I don't really try to focus on the feeling side. I just try to address what they're saying because I don't really know any actual way to prove somebody's being disrespectful other than I feel you're being disrespectful, I'm going to tell you you're being disrespectful, so you are. Other than that, I don't really know how to prove it, so I just allow people to speak to me as they deem fit. What do you think about that, maybe?
That's an interesting view. I've never heard anybody say that before. I don't really know.
Like, has that ever come across your head, like maybe like some concepts like, dignity, honor, respect, manners, these type of things, like has it ever come to your head like, I don't really think that these things are actually real ideas. I don't really believe in them.
No, I think they're like culturally necessary. Things like manners, respect, dignity, like things. For instance, like a large percentage of what we consider law is there to preserve dignity. So these like, they're like, you could say like they're somewhat philosophical ideas of how people ought be or ought behave. So they're valuable in that way.
So maybe like for example, like let's just think of this. Do you think people should like be arrested for like swearing?
No, not swearing.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. Like public order section 5. I think that's kind of bullshit. But I was thinking maybe what do you think?
I don't know, right? It depends what the context of the situation is, what type of slurs are being used, because how are we defining swearing? Are we saying the S word, the F word, or
like F word, stuff like that? Like maybe like fuck you, stuff like that.
Nah, on its own, no. But if it's like how can I explain? If it's done with threatening intention, then perhaps because it would be considered like verbal assault or something like that, wouldn't it?
What would you like consider like maybe like threatening intention?
I don't know, like aggressive tone, invading personal space, threatening. I'm not quite sure. I'm not thought about.
No, yeah. I can hear it. It's kind of a new idea, and so you're not really maybe like brushed up on that idea. You're kind of maybe thinking of things coming to your head, innit? Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like things like those kinds of things, like respect, manners, all of that. Allow people to speak to me as they deem fit. You can't really prove that they're being disrespectful, and the only things you can really address are what they're saying. The only things that actually do matter are like truth and lies. Other than like maybe how you feel somebody speaking to you, can't really prove anything like that. But like, this is why the only things I actually care for are whether something is truthful or whether it's false. Because those are the only things that you can account for. Like you can record truth, you can record a lie on like a camera. You can't record somebody being disrespectful versus them being respectful. They're not as objective as like maybe like truth and falsehood. Like you asking somebody a question like, would you come to the park with me? And they say yes. You could record that. And then if they say that they never said that, you could show it, but you can't really record somebody being respectful absent your own idea of what you think being respectful is. So I don't really...
Well, look, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I do think it's possible to determine if someone's being disrespectful, like deliberately. I'm not quite sure how I would devise that kind of thing, but I think they're like unwritten or unspoken social norms or normative behaviours that if violated, one could say this is disrespectful, or this is demeaning.
That's what I was saying.
This is like, vulgar. It's unnecessary, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Other than like, you saying that you're being disrespectful, stuff like that. Whereas like, I'm trying to think of a good way to
But
explain
of
it.
course, someone could just say you're being disrespectful even though you're not as well. So there's that.
That's what I was saying. But like, you know, if somebody says that, you know, I never said something, but you know, you recorded it, it's like, did you really not say it? And obviously, some people might question the camera and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure most wouldn't because we regard them as independent witnesses. And on them, I don't really know how they would record whether somebody's being disrespectful. Like, other than if somebody's judging whether they think it's disrespectful, I don't know the way that the camera would judge that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's why the idea of like being respectful, manners, and stuff like that, I don't know how it's independent. So because it's not independent, I don't really account for them.
Fair. I mean, yeah, again, I've not given this much thought. So
Yeah. It's
so
kind of a
fair.
new idea on it to me. But would you, how'd I say, like, do you see yourself maybe like coming to like some sort of alignment with this idea? Maybe if you brushed up on it, maybe like thought about it a bit more, or not really, no.
Probably not, given that I lean more towards like even morally, culturally relative ethics. I think
Yeah.
context matters a lot. So I think nothing can operate or exist isolated from everything else. So there are like implicit and explicit cues happening in all interactions. So maybe if you was to like look closer,
Yeah.
there'd probably be a way to define whether this is a boundary violation of some sort.
Like, obviously I don't really know how to measure it, but like, would you then say that it's kind of vague?
Yeah, I guess in a way, based on like how you're presenting it currently. Like for instance, if someone was like walking down the street and you're like
Yeah.
slightly in their way, they just go, move out the way, get out of my way, right? No,
Yeah.
generally they're asking you to get out of the way, right? Or they're commanding
Yeah.
you to get out of the way. But I think
Yeah.
things like tone, context, distance, all these kinds of things, they
Yeah.
do matter. And it's just
You
whether
feel
you
like
can like, I don't know,
you wouldn't say like they inherently
quantify
matter.
them.
You would say like, I mean, actually, no, that's not the right word. How do I say it? You wouldn't say that like they. What's a good word? Like they naturally, maybe like let's say naturally. You wouldn't say that they naturally matter, right?
What's that? The tone and all that.
Like because it's like down to like somebody's own interpretation. You wouldn't say like it naturally matters, right?
Yeah, I think it does. Like
Oh.
a large portion of communication is non-verbal, so of course it does matter.
Nah, I meant like, actually, no, I can't really word that because, nah, never mind. So you're saying, like tone and things, they just matter.
Yeah, in like terms of communication, yeah, these things do matter. For instance, there are words you could say, and
Yeah.
based on the frequency or the tone of your voice, it can mean something different. There are languages that are tonal, so it does matter in terms of communication. It's like say what do you mean? What do you mean? Like what? Like various different tones of the same phrase can have different meanings. So I think that does matter in communication.
But, okay, like, let me like, give an example. You know, somebody might say, you know, you look quite peculiar today, and then you're like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? Or like you say, what do you mean? It's like would fall in like the same line. You're like trying to get an assessment of like what they're trying to say, but like even the tone at that point wouldn't really matter. It would still be the same question regardless.
I think it does matter. Maybe not in a like a easily like a tangible type of way you can just say like this specific tone means this specific thing to all people. But I think in the context of the interaction, it does matter.
No, I'm thinking like if because I said you know, somebody might say you look peculiar today. Whether they say like what do you mean or like what do you mean?
Yeah, but even the
still...
tone in which they said the peculiar, like even the tone in which they said that, like, and who is saying it as well, it matters. Like the relationship to who is saying it also matters.
Okay, I do hear what you're saying. Maybe I'll give it a bit more thought. I was just
Like,
thinking
if people would just like chatbots and just spout out text, like to be fair, even text can be written in tone. You can have tone embedded in text too. So
What's another good thing? Another thing, right? Would you say like as a person you try to treat the next person, like you try to treat this person how you treat the next person, or like do you think preferential treatment should be a thing?
Yeah, I would love to think of myself as capable of doing that, but it's impossible. Like I just said, context does matter. What is the relationship to this person? What is the history? Those things do matter. But
Like,
for instance, if we was having like debates how we do on these streams, and like
yeah,
I have a conversation with one person, it gets heated. I end that
yeah,
conversation and I begin a conversation with a new person. I do at least try to acknowledge that this is a different person I'm talking to, regardless of
yeah.
the previous conversation. But you can't really say you go out into the world and treat people equally all the time because we have our
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't say I do
inherent
that.
or implicit. We just have
I would
biases.
say that I do try to do it more than I don't. I don't know. Like, would you say that you try to do it more than you don't?
It depends.
I mean, that's still quite vague because it's like, how do you qualify whether you're trying more than you want? But
It depends,
yeah. But you would say that preferential treatment, like, would you say like, how do I say it? Not that's needed, but you would say that it's just something that you do in it.
Yeah, it's a part of human relationships in general. It's a part of all relationships. For one thing to have meaning, it must be in relation to another thing. So there's obviously going to be like some kind of hierarchy or order in which things take precedence, if you want to put it like that. So yeah.
Oh, I got another good one for you. You see, like, tax. Do you think that the government should be obliged to, write receipts to every individual person's national insurance and show what their tax is being used for?
Obliged, not necessarily. Oh, what just happened there?
You don't think?
Sorry, no, but obliged.
Oh,
I don't know.
Like, okay, right. You know how everyone pays tax, right? We all have our identifiable numbers, like
You
your
kind of
national insurance.
get a council tax bill for your local council. That kind of gives you an idea where your money's going, but not necessarily your wages.
You don't think the wages one you should get like a receipt or anything like that?
I mean, if it was possible to pull it off accounting wise, I'd be interested to see it. Sure.
Do you think that they can't pull it off, or like what do you actually think? Do you think they can't pull it off?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like,
I do.
I think it would take a lot of work though, and you'd be relying on computers and then also the trust in the people to input data correctly. And well, we already know like our things like HM revenue and all this kind of stuff. It has a lot of corruption baked in it already. So.
Yeah. I wonder, like, people who work at HMRC, like, you know how, like, when you work at a job, for example, you get, like, maybe some sort of benefits. Like, I wonder, like, reduced tax pay or something. Like, what is the benefit for working there?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, like, every job, or, like, most jobs, I'll say, they have, like, some sort of benefit. You know, you work at, like, maybe Cineworld or something, you might get to what, like, movies for free or, like, way discount.
Like, you saying they pay less tax because they work for HMRC.
Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
that is
you might pay
mental.
less tax, or, like, what is it like?
That would be hella corrupt, boy.
Oh, okay, right. Maybe
Wait. That was a good idea, though. Don't get me wrong. That is a good idea if it was possible to implement it. That is a really good idea.
I do think that they actually could, especially with like the use of AI and stuff like that. But obviously, they probably don't want to.
No, yeah, but that's the fact that think about our political climate with people like Restore, Reform, and the Conservatives and Labours. All these people have different political ideologies. They also have different economic philosophies or ideals.
Yeah.
So if you show a certain section of society, you're like, oh, this amount of money is being used for this social safety net. They'll be like, nah, I don't want that money used for that, like kind of thing. So in that sense, it could be a little bit detrimental.
I know what you're saying because you're talking about like everyone has unique interests. You know, they might see something being more being occupied versus another thing, and then it might cause like a sort of like maybe not like a siege, but like some sort of like division.
There'd be some uproar for sure.
Yeah. Or okay, maybe I got another thing for you, like, and I'm giving you like best questions and stuff like that. But I recently saw a video on TikTok of like why people can't get jobs, and the person said it's actually to do with South Asians. What do you think of that?
I think I know what you're talking about. That's them like franchise, them franchise businesses.
Yeah, like, do you think that they're responsible for like the lack of jobs? Would you say?
No, but they're obviously cornering certain markets and only hiring their own people, which is to be expected. Like lots of in group, out group
Yeah,
type of scenarios happen like that.
maybe like I don't know if you have like an example. I do, but like for example, there's a co-op in my house, and obviously back in the day when I first moved to this place, quite diverse. There was a lot of black mixed race people, whatever. And I noticed like a couple months later, like a couple years later, maybe like 4, 5, noticed that a South Asian bought the store and like it's like they fired everybody, and now you go to the store,
Ah,
it's all
it's
South
real though
Asians.
still. But right, so if you were them, right, would it be
Yeah.
the right thing to do?
I wouldn't say it's like there's not really. I wouldn't say there's any sort of like right or wrong. Like we're not obligated to have like multiple different ethnicities in like
I think there is some kind of I forget what it's called. I forget what
like
it's
you can
called.
like legally, yeah, like they're trying to make it more diverse, but like I don't know if like it's wrong for you to have a place that is only full of your people. I don't know if it's wrong per se. You might be advised to have more diversity so you can speak to different people, but I don't know if it's necessarily wrong.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
no,
mean,
maybe
like,
it might be because it's favoritism, but
if it's
what
like done
happened?
explicitly or done
Yeah,
with some kind of viciousness to other people, perhaps maybe if you could prove that, then yeah,
because
it'd be
you might say
discrimination.
like would it be wrong if like actually no, yeah, I think this would be wrong, but I'm gonna ask you like, would you think it would be wrong if like a council, maybe like an Eastern European council bought like I don't know a part of London or something, and they maybe not kicked all the people out, but there was no occupancies in the area, and they threw their own people into
Yeah, it's called
that area.
gentrification.
Isn't that just like upgrading?
No, it's literally moving out the residents that currently live there to move in a different set of
Oh,
residents,
I thought gentrification is just like
or
when you
demographic.
renovate or like upgrade like a certain part.
Yeah, that's a part of it, but
Oh,
it's moving people on who live there or the natives, if you will, for other people to come there.
so like this is a good question.
You
Like,
could also put you could also invest money into that community without moving the people out of it. But
so
that's
you
usually
would
not how
say
it's done.
like maybe you might say that you need more like information on the actual context, but like you would say generally, would you say generally that it's wrong to have only one group of people in a certain place?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
But context does matter.
Well, yeah. Okay. This one actually might be a bit more of a one to discuss, but like, what do you think about like abortion?
I'm fine with it. I know it's kind of it's kind of loose. Like I don't know. It's like
Do you like? Would you, if you were in power, like, would you still keep it, or like, would you take it away?
no, I definitely allow for it. Right? I think the value of the service is
Yeah.
greater than maybe political or theological views about it, or because there are so many different contexts where it might even be necessary to have a service like that.
Okay, like let's
Even
say
if we was just to say just to prevent potentially women self harming, trying to do it
yeah.
themselves, it would still be valuable enough to keep around.
So I know some like okay,
I would say yeah. There's like some instances, maybe like even I would say like okay, abortion here, but it's generally probably not applicable. Like maybe like if you get raped or something like that, I could maybe hear that. But if you go and
That's an
do some
extreme. That's an extreme. But I think to keep it from becoming a moral
yeah
type of, well, obviously it's a moral issue anyway because people think things about life and all that. But from
yeah
keeping it from becoming, oh, you're allowed, you're barred, and you're not. Right,
just
I think
allow it for all.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I do hear that because some
trying to
people.
examine all cases would be mental.
Would you say that just like looking at the actual thing of abortion, would you say it's killing a life force or nah?
Depends. I'm not entirely informed about it, but I think it might be fair to say after a certain stage of pregnancy that's
Because
more of a human than not a human, if you want to put it like that.
obviously
obviously, yeah, you just said you're not informed, so you didn't make a judgment, which is fair. But obviously, I do remember speaking to this about some. I remember speaking about this to someone, and they said, maybe you could tell me what you think. They said a soul is like it's just a soul, it's not a human being.
A
And obviously,
soul.
yeah, they just said it's just a soul, it's not a human being, like it's just a soul.
I mean, that's
And
kind of weird. Like, if for
and
someone
then
that believes in the soul, surely they value the soul more or anything, no?
and then obviously I said to them, they said it's not even alive, and obviously I asked them like, are souls alive? And they said yeah. So I was like, if it's a soul, like how can it not be alive? Or I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something along that lines because they said it's not alive, and I made the argument like, are souls alive? They said yeah. So she said it's a singular soul, and I was like, yeah, it's a soul, but you would consider that because it's progressing, it's still alive. So I said to her, it's alive. I don't know. You didn't really make a judgment in it, but like, would you say it's alive?
I mean, after a certain period of time, I think it would be fair to say it's alive. If it has a metabolism, if it's growing, if it's adapting, then yeah, it's technically alive by that kind of biological standard.
Not to say that like would you say for something to be alive, it has to progress?
Yeah, I think that's one of the criteria. It has to have a metabolism. It needs to be able to
That's
it has to
that's what I
grow.
was thinking.
It has to be able to reproduce. There's a few things.
That's the only reason I was thinking. Yeah, it would be alive from the moment of inception because it would be progressing, right? But yeah, what game is this? This is not
Dark Souls.
I really played Bloodborne. What else? Have you played Bloodborne?
Yeah, it's the same people that make this.
Yeah, Bloodborne. I have Elden Ring. I haven't really played that yet though. What else? Have you played Demon Souls?
No, that's one I've not got to play yet. That's the original, isn't it?
And then you've
Got a
got
chance to play that
Sekiro.
yet.
You played Sekiro?
Yeah, not completed though. Shamefully.
I haven't even played it yet. But like, did you get to like Lady Butterfly or something like that?
Yeah, I've got right to the end
Oh.
a couple of times, but just can't beat it. It's Sword Saint Isheen. I think that's what his name
Flipping,
is.
is it his dad that you're fighting?
Yeah, the granddad. Hey, he's vicious, you know. The timing is just mad.
You fight him twice, right?
Um,
I remember correctly. My friend, I remember watching him play. Did you not? You fight him twice, don't you?
I'm not
You fight him
sure.
at the end of the game and a bit earlier. Maybe I might be wrong though.
I can't remember. But
Probably
I
played
know
this
you
since
do
a while
fight him
ago.
at the end. Through the game, he's pretending to be someone else, so
Yeah.
it's possible.
you-
I just can't remember.
Obviously, I know that you like you're a bit more like you like the older games, innit?
Yeah, when I get a chance, yeah.
Have you played a game called Asura's Wrath?
No, that's one of the games I've been trying to get for years, actually. But every time I see it, it seems to be overpriced.
I think like, if I see you play that game, I definitely tune in and watch you play that whole game.
Bro, I want that game. You know, actually, now that you mention it, it might even be worth.
I'm not gonna
having a
lie,
look.
I managed to copy it on eBay. It did cost me a bit, but you get that game PS3, you get all the DLCs, bro. Yeah, that.
Oh
Like,
shit! You just reminded me. Actually, there was a certain cut-off point where you'll be able to buy PS3 games from the store before they close it down. Don't even know when that is now.
I know I saw it in CEX like quite recently. I don't know if you live in London.
Bro, the thing's £40 for Xbox, bro, and then what?
Yeah, that's what I've seen.
£75.
Xbox.
The £75
way
on
cheaper on
PS3,
Xbox.
bro. They took about 5% off. Like, it's a PS3 game.
I saw it in CEX for like 65. I was like,
That's
damn, bro,
mental,
these
bro.
man. When it comes to flipping the PS3, I don't know why they're just gatekeeping, bro. Like, trying so hard.
It's mad. Even when that game came out, it was hard to get a copy of it. So, I don't know, man.
There's one game that I do want to actually play on the PS3. You know the Wolverine X-Men Oranges game.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would like to actually play that game, but
It's not good. It's not good.
you played it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, you
not
played
good. Yeah. It's pretty shit, to be
It
honest.
just seems like one of them games like
For example, like Deadpool, you know the Deadpool PS4 game, it doesn't really look great, but if you have it and you got to play, it's like one of them games you just got to play in it.
Oh, I never got to play the Deadpool games either.
No,
Yeah, I've seen clips from them. They're a bit
it's
cheesy.
not the best. I wouldn't lie, the combat doesn't really look as appealing, but yeah.
They're a bit cheesy.
But remember back in the day. Maybe not back in the day, but like last year, I was asking you like if you was ever gonna get a PS5. I don't know. I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, I probably said that no until it went down in price. Probably something to that effect. But yeah, and now they're gonna release a PS6. So like, what a
Yeah,
dickhead!
bro.
Why did I bother?
Do you see yourself copying that or not? Still no.
Yeah, I'll wait until people sell it. When they're selling them, I'll probably buy them from them. No, I'm not forking out. Well, to tell the truth, I'm actually an idiot because I ended up paying a lot of money anyway, so I may as well have just bought one from launch. So it's just dumb. The market moves so silly.
But what are you a GTA fan? Like, do you like GTA a lot or not? You don't really care for it.
Nah, back in the day when I was a kid, that might have mattered, but GTA is a bit degenerate, to be fair.
Yeah, I hear it.
I've seen these leaks coming out there. The story seems to be interesting. Not the story of the game, but the story of the leaker that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, some guy, I don't know, he's actually like a leek. You know, the vegetable.
Oh, I do remember hearing about somebody leaked the game. Actually, I do remember hearing. Well, this is not recent, is it?
Yeah, I think it's recent that
Okay,
that all the drama's unfolding. But this could have been happening for ages. I've just only become aware of it, so I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, UK US conversion is crazy as well. Like financially.
Have you played God of War like 2018 or nah?
Yeah, Ragnarok and that first one. They're alright. Bit boring though. But to be honest, I think I'm just at that place where games are kind of boring.
Yeah. Not really much games that have interest you, like maybe like back in the day, innit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, actually, that's true. I think also it's just maybe I'm just unable to focus on the story because I'll be trying to play like what's it called? What's that guy name? Alan Wake.
Max Payne.
Yeah, like it is like Max Payne basically. I'd be trying to play that, trying to play Resident Evil Requiem. Although I completed it, like I was just disconnected
That's
through the
not
whole
really,
play.
like, doesn't really give you that urge to be like playing it like that, innit?
Yeah, I actually found that the minute that I bought a PS5, I was like, what? Like it made me want to play it even less. It was just I don't know what it was. It was like this doesn't actually make any sense. Yeah.
PS5, bro. One of the games that really needs to fall off, like, is FIFA. Like, they've been marketing this game for years, bro, and there's no changes. Other than, like, I think FC20 was the first time in a while where I actually saw something new. They added FIFA Street, like, for football. Other than that, bro, this game is the same game every...
It's been the same since FIFA 98, bro. Like World Cup 98, I think it was called something like that. 64.
Bad. Like, NBA, even though, like... Okay, NBA is kind of a repeat as well, but when I'm playing NBA, I hear it more than FIFA. I'm not gonna lie. Like the only thing I go on FIFA for is like pro clubs or something like that, but nothing else.
I tried to play FIFA 26, like when they gave it out for free in a store. I couldn't even get it to work, bro. I was like trying to figure out for ages. How do you play like an online match? Like, what is all this team management shit they want me to do? It's just way too much menu. It's like just give me a match. It's too much going on.
Ah, yeah, FIFA, bro. Like every year, rinse and repeat, bro.
Yeah, but people are gonna lap it up, aren't they? So why would they stop? It's probably one of EA's biggest earners.
The PS5 didn't have any good games for like over 3 years after its release.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
I'm trying to think. What came? Okay, you got God of War.
They're PS4 games, though.
Like PS4, like it did get a lot of good stuff. Like I remember, got Knack, got flipping Infamous Second Son, bro.
What's Knack?
You know Knack, that like little. Oh, he's like this thing. He's like I don't even know. Like he was built by like a scientist, and then like he could basically use relics to like grow in size.
That's the first time I'm hearing about this.
One of the first PS4 games. I think it was actually the first. I think it was exclusive. Like if you bought the PS4 and it came out early, you got that game with it. What else? Yeah, the PS4 was on a generational run. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the amount of games,
but it's still great. Still great now. It technically runs all the same games that are worth playing anyway, except from like the latest ones.
Did you prefer like the PS4's runtime or the PS3?
What do you mean runtime?
Like for like obviously PS3 came out in 2006. kind of had a run till 2014. PS4's 6 years. Yeah, like did you
PS4
prefer
was
like
what, 2013 maybe?
yeah, I think 2013 actually to 2020. Did you prefer like did you prefer the PS4's like time versus the PS3's time or not? Nah.
Well, I didn't buy a PS4 till like 2019, so
Oh,
yeah, I was still playing PS3. So for me, it's not
PS3.
new, but it's still kind of fresh, in terms of
The PS3
shit I play.
really had like, yeah, bro. The PS3 was serious. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's good. It's good.
Was you
PS2 was the game changer.
Did
Like
you have Xbox?
generationally. Now well, I have had Xboxes at different times,
But you choose a PS3 over the Xbox 360 in it?
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, because you've got to think when PS3 and Xbox came out, I could just plug the wire into the PS3 and just play online. No bullshit. No buying stuff. No asking nobody nothing. Just straight online.
No, I think that was the worst decision Xbox made. Like giving the batteries thing, bro. That made no sense.
What, in the controller as well?
Yeah,
that was effed up as well. So PS3 had them on that one as well, 6-axis.
Like, what's the flip? Like, obviously, I do remember people getting like some sort of charger. Like they just plugged it into the Xbox controller and they was able to play the games. But...
No, but then man had to pay for Xbox Live, bro. Like how we got it now, basically.
Oh no, like you know how like you had to get you had to get batteries to keep like recharging your controller. I do remember I had a cousin and he had like a charging port. You just plug it into the controller and he was able to play the game without batteries. But other than that, bro, I don't understand why you would make people buy batteries to play on a controller, bro.
Microsoft, bro.
Yeah, bro. Microsoft don't know what they were doing.
I don't know. The controller's still like that.
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, that man learned from PS4.
Game Pass. What have you actually got over there on Game Pass though? That's
what's
worth
still
having it for.
sucks. I'm an Xbox guy. The Game Pass is too good. Yeah, Game Pass seems to have like a lot of good things, but other than that, like I would still choose the PlayStation. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably.
Like
It's actually crazy that. What did I see? I saw something on Insta or like Facebook. I think the PS3 outsold the Xbox Series X still. Or I need to remember.
What was the Series X? Was that the one that came after 360?
It's the one that came out after the Xbox One.
Fuck me, I don't even know what was what. I know that one was like a rectangle, and then one was like a flat rectangle that looks like a speaker. So I don't know. Bro's on coffee, bro. But yo, I don't know if anyone's actually out there that wants to.
it's actually crazy that the PS3 outsold the Series.
Say again? I can't hear you, bro.
Series X, bro.
I don't know. I don't even know which one's which.
But the PS3 has still got more units than the Series X.
Yeah, I don't know which one's which. Let me have a look. I don't know why they decided to call an Xbox One. You said the PS3's got more sales than the Series X? The X is the tower one. Oh, and the one is... Xbox One is the one that looks like a little speaker. Like,
Yeah.
it looks like it's like flat with a little round bit on it.
Yeah.
So the
Actually
Series
crazy,
X
though.
is the most recent one.
Yeah, it's the most recent one. And the PS3 had to outsold that shit, bro.
Good.
So,
It's actually crazy, bro. Like, there's not even a competition between Xbox and PS like anymore. Like, I think Xbox 360 I've said that Xbox 360 was the last good Xbox, but other than that, bro.
yeah.
That was the last good era for consoles, period, I think. Not much has changed but graphics.
Was you like a Wii guy? Did you ever play on like the Wii?
Yeah. Played Wii, GameCube. That was a decent time. It was novel though. Once you figured out you could just do this. It's kinda silly.
Did you ever play like Mario and Sonic?
Nah.
2012 Olympics or like anything like that?
Nah. Play Super Smash Bros.
Oh shit! Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
Super Smash Bros. And Wii Olympics. I think is it Wii Olympics? One we could
Yeah,
bowl
it is.
or like do all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Probably
Well,
the
yeah,
only games I played.
was you like a PSP guy as well?
Nah.
PSP was actually that. Yeah, that was actually good.
Actually crazy because like we've got a PS Portal, but for some reason the PS3, PSP, its usability is like seems to be better than the PS4. Because that shit you have to be connected for like the PS5 has to be on for you to play it. But then also you can play games, but you have to make sure the games are from like the cloud storage.
Hmm?
Yeah, like you can't play a game that there's only some games that you can play that you actually own, which is a bit mad.
So what does the console itself not have storage?
Wait, oh no, yeah,
Or is it just
like you.
is it just a glorified remote control?
It's just a glorified remote control. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
Like
that makes sense.
you can use it, but like you can't play like with the PSP. You could play anything you want, like PSVR as well, any game you had. But with this, you can only play certain games from the cloud, and you can only play some games that you have.
But yeah,
I don't know. That doesn't sound much worth it. If you can't like go outside with it, it doesn't sound like it makes
yeah,
sense.
you can't go outside, bro.
What's the point? Just like, oh, like, I want to go toilet and take the controller with me.
Like you need to actually be connected to Wi-Fi or data to actually use that shit.
That's weird. I think they will. I think they're probably bringing out a PSP 2 or something like that soon, though. Very likely.
Yeah, I could imagine that actually.
Like Nintendo's kind of cornered that market for ages. But Nintendo is shit. Been shit for ages. Shit for ages, bro. All they had going for them is Mario and Zelda. So, Ty, I'm gonna reboot this stream, bro. See if we get any debates. So you're more than welcome to come back anytime, bro.
I might do something, but I probably might join back later though.
No, I appreciate you, bro.
Always like coming to your lives and seeing what's going on.
Appreciate that. Alright, back in a minute.
Nice conversation with you, sir.
Safe.
Bye.
Here you go. Alright. We'll give it a bit. At least we dealt with one boss. We'll say one criteria is that it has to be able to reproduce. A fetus cannot reproduce. Yeah, I guess that is one of the criteria for something to be living, but one could argue if it meets a certain threshold of the definition, then it is that thing. Then yeah. Well, yeah, but alright, so why another reason why that might not necessarily have to be the case either, right? A human can have the equipment to reproduce but may not be capable of reproducing. That still doesn't mean they're not alive, so if that makes sense to you. We've actually come pretty far without armor so far, so we'll actually know we're not going to be able to. We're going to have to start walking through poison. But we never know, we might be able to take out a couple bosses on the way. Actually, I do think there was something I was supposed to do before this. It's back in the central area. Ah, it's the catacombs. So I think that's what we need to go do. I might just be able to pull this off. Almost got me. Shit. I feel like I've missed it. Where's the windmill? Oh, how did he manage to poison me? You slag. No, it's gonna drop. No. Oh my gosh, that's the wrong place. Minute. Oh, it's always a skill or something, isn't it? Actually, I think like the dress outfit is probably the best for the poison. Let's just give him that for now. It's not fully heavy rolling yet. So yeah, I saw this thing earlier on where basically humans have set up this test for AI to play Dark Souls, and AI almost loses almost all of the time. So given that fact, I don't feel so bad about being rubbish at the game anymore. At least I'm better than the AI at playing Dark Souls. Also, at least I completed the game too. AI couldn't even beat the harder bosses at all. So for now, anyways, I'm better than the AI at playing the game. As crap as I am. But yeah, that may change shortly, given how long it takes for AIs to update. That's good. So TikTok is telling me to tell you to share the live. So do tap the screen and share the live. I'll join you in tapping the screen in a minute. After I probably get smoked. But we're talking about whatever you want to talk about. Whether humans invented God, whether something should be banned, or if you want to talk about a random topic, or test an argument out. I'm more than willing to both, you know, red team or still man, I forget which one it's called. But yeah, I will hypothetically argue on behalf or against if it's something I agree with or not agree with. Either way, it doesn't really matter to me. But if you want to request up, all you got to do is press the pink and the blue person in the bottom of the screen. You can join. It's an open panel, so anyone can join. Alright, let's try and make it to the fire this time. Oi! Oi! Only got a few of those to use, man. Alright, I'm pretty sure there was a quicker way to get down there. If you call that a happy slap, that was like a clubbing. Entire club, and it was poisonous. Bloody happy slap, that's classic, boy. I don't know who decided to call that a happy slap. Like, that whole phenomenon was fucked up. Excuse my French. Hopefully that beeped out. That whole thing was effed up. Who decided that was going to be a thing? Absolutely insane. Bro, leave me alone. Alright, so why is my health there then? Oh, they're persistent, ain't they? No, this is a different area. No, no. Death. Don't see a request button. It should be at the bottom of the screen. So there should be a pink and a blue person. I'll test it on this device here. No, there was no happy slap. He was just mocking it. Oh yeah, I see you, Daryl. There you go. Ooh. Hello? We gotta go to the other
How's it
bonfire.
going?
Hello?
Good afternoon.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing decent, man. I appreciate you asking. I'm gonna read the prompt. Humans invented God. I want to just focus on that.
Sure.
I mean, like,
You don't have to though.
it
Talk
sucks
about
because
anything.
I
If
was
you
just,
want.
my fault. I was just gonna say, like, I'm not gonna have much of a conversation. I wanted to really ask a follow-up question because I feel like faith is invented, or like it's like when I think of not like any Bible specifically, but like just in general, it's man-made, or it had to come from a certain man. So I'm just saying, like, faith is invented. I mean, like, we not God, not faith. God is, I think, would be something that's invented. But I want to ask, like, my question would be, well, like, God is surrounded around faith. I guess I'm thinking, like, well, I mean, even like, what's the word for people that don't believe in God? I forgot, but people that don't believe in God, they have to have some faith built into something. So I want to ask you, like, where do you place your faith? I mean, like, do you have your faith placed into anything, or do you believe in a faith aspect of life or of something? No.
So I don't. Obviously, I don't have a religious faith, but I think you could argue that faith is like it's a necessary tool for cognitive functions. So it may not be faith in the type of way where like I have faith that there's a higher power. But it can be like, think about it like a mental placeholder. Like the tool of faith puts a pin in an idea that you have faith that this thing is true, this thing is consistent. If that makes sense. But no, I don't have a religious
Like,
faith. I don't know.
no, like, so, like, in a sense, you have to have the faith to maybe execute an action, maybe,
In a sense,
like in
yeah.
one of your abilities. I don't know. I like that. That's why I feel like when it comes to like God, I mean, in the general sense, people like, mixed, not to like take away from people that say they have a faith in God, but I feel like it correlates with each other in a sense. But I mean, that's the first prompt. Man, you answered the question, so gave me clarity. Appreciate it. Smoking should be banned. I
Wait, what do
mean,
you think about the first prompt though? Do you believe? Do you not believe?
oh no, I believe it's invented. I said as in like not specifically any Bible, but like in general, the Bible came from a man. Like it's like ordainedly people may say the Spirit of God was with me when I wrote it. I like I don't feel like the debate is worth it, but like at the same time, it's also made by man, so it's not like to say like it's to say that I mean certain orders, certain hierarchies are placed in for people. One may I don't know where I'm going with this direction, but like I guess the general sense of faith, a general Christianity, when people that I feel like don't have like a sense of spirituality within themselves and they accept norms from other people, just like it as if they were born with it without any challenge. I feel like, I mean, what's the point? Honestly, it's not really faith, but I mean, that's just my thought on God. I mean, just maybe in a general sense.
I don't know if I got all that you were saying, to be fair with you.
No, I understand. I mean, if there's anything you want me to give clarity, I mean, I could.
There was a word you said that people get from other people. I wasn't sure.
Oh, okay. So I was trying to describe a certain person or any person that, that doesn't have any relationship with themselves or like try to use their intuition in a sense where they're not relying on an external person or an external power. I feel like people that accept a religion from other people without any challenges of themselves, I'm saying in a general sense, I guess that's just dumb. As far as like, yo, not like saying like, yo, I mean, like, for example, the Bible comes with so many great verses that really help people. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I guess it's a good thing, but at the same time, I always hear like not always here. I feel it's like I don't know. Maybe I don't resonate. I might be over rambling, but like, cause the subject of the matter was, did humans invented God? I already agree, but I guess I'm talking more in depth in it, I guess. Let me ask you a question. You don't have any religious background, or you don't feel like you have faith in your own abilities.
No, I don't mean I
Um,
think I have faith in my abilities, but I think I do in some ways. Yeah, that's true too.
either. I think either or. God bless. I don't know. Where should I go with that? Oh, I mean that. Yeah. Question. Whenever you're facing a hardship, do you? I guess you're probably more sensible. So I mean, not sensible, but
Not
I feel
guaranteed.
like the religious person is gonna say, "Hey, let's go pray," and not saying that's not a bad option, but I mean, like, what would your instance say? You have something that you feel like is beyond your capacity. What would you say is your option?
I'll go looking for information. I try to figure out like well, obviously not everyone's life is going to be the same, but
Hmm.
my background, I haven't really got anyone to ask. I never really have, so I have to just figure out. So
Yeah,
I just
every
go looking for information really. So that's what I do.
and so would you say like in general you don't like to overcomplicate things? You like well, do you ever complicate things? You like because it seems
Absolutely,
like if oh you do human
absolutely.
as hell, human as
What
hell.
are you trying to say? What did
No,
you
I mean
think?
it seemed like you're calm collected. I mean, but then again you're human, so it's like you have every aspect of it.
I mean,
All right.
unless that's out there saying I'm something other than human, I would like to collect the props for that.
I respect it. Respect it.
So,
I mean, continuing. I'm gonna read. Should smoking be banned? I mean, yeah, everyone. There's the side of people like, yo, you should just let people do what they want, man. Obviously, that's. I mean, there's somewhat of an understanding, but there's obviously people that don't have the capacity to say no to drugs or like to be like, oh, you know what? This isn't serving a purpose anymore. So it's like we could even, I'm pretty sure I've been on the live. So as far as like advertisements of smoking, could be more directed or correlated to like younger individuals. Uh, but yeah, I guess in general, it should be limited. Should it be banned? That's a hard thing to say as a smoker myself. I don't think, like, I would honestly say, fuck it, ban it, cause like, it's,
so when did you start smoking then?
I would say, all right, first time I ever smoked was like my friend. It doesn't matter, he was Jamaican, but like I think we were like 16. Um,
Get the Jamaican guy.
outside. Say that one more time.
Blame the Jamaican guy. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
yeah,
I'm
that's
joking.
yeah, it was him, man. It was all the Jamaican. Nah. But yeah, 16. Oh yeah, like once in a while, on and off. So it was like it's a thing where I would do it with a friend. And yeah, nothing wrong with that because honestly, it was limited access. It wasn't like it was in my hands type shit. But other instances where I would smoke weed or like I'd take smoking, like I started smoking before work in the morning. And like, younger, I felt amped up. Like, yeah, I'm smoking my blunt, I'm taking care of my business, I'm doing what I need. But after a while, it just became more of a pattern and I became more sluggish, and it affected. You could tell it affects me in different aspects of my life. So that's why I would say, after a while, even if I like would say, hey, maybe this is not serving me, I was still going down the rabbit hole. Eventually, I took a tea break for 6 months, bro. That's why I would say, fuck it, just ban it because. I mean, I don't think everyone's gonna be like 100% accountable for themselves or their well-being. I mean, other people could be better than me, of course,
Hmm.
but then again, I would just suggest say fuck it, or at least like I remember one live I said like there got to be like maybe you have to make an X amount of money, but you didn't said it doesn't it doesn't stop the psychological like dependency or like the effects of it. But you know, I mean, that's my take on the smoking
So,
or debate any topic.
do you
Yeah.
plan to quit, or you just gonna keep at it?
Yeah, see, I feel like I'm on the hot spot.
I mean, shit, that's just a question you ain't got to answer.
No, I ain't gonna go deep, but it's like one of those questions where it's not deep, but it's like a person that's really thinking about it, you gonna really think about it. Or if someone says, "Who are you?" It doesn't have need context, but you're gonna fucking think, "Who am I?"
That's a good thing.
But I mean, as far as like smoking, it's like me not say, for example, I wanna say I wanna stop smoking for a whole 6 months. Honestly, I'm probably gonna smoke once a week, twice a week. Could that bleed into dangerous, or I might go for 3? Yeah, that's the bad thing about it. That's why I want to quit. And I say it's a hot seat because admitting that I can't stop, or like admitting that I won't fully stop, is like a sign of weakness. So that's why I say it's a codependency thing. It's like a coping mechanism that
But
doesn't serve much of
awareness
a.
of that is pretty good.
I mean, yeah, everyone's. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. At least you know.
Mm. But yeah, that's all I had to say. It's good. Appreciate you taking me up on the line. You have any questions or anything you wanted to say? If not, it's chill. It's good convo.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything off the top.
Alright. I'm gonna let you go, man. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless.
I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming up. I can't decide which part of the game I want to tackle first, because every time I run to an area, I remember there's another area next to it I haven't done yet. So this, like, Dark Souls 1 is more linear than almost all the other Dark Souls games, but it's still got different areas you can do before, like, just in any order you want. But anyways, whoever's out there listening, feel free to come up. I'm not exactly in a monologuing type of mood, but if there is an interesting subject, I don't mind giving my 2 cents on it. Just gonna start checking out requests. Oh, and then come up. Yeah. If I remember, there's a way you could run through most of this area as well. It's risky. Oh. Shh.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well,
You don't look free to me.
I'm Ricky of Vinine. I was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it? Have you? Oh no. Don't. It's safe here. Although, how about this? I'll show you what made me the best. Goodbye then. Keep your head.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. What's up? What's up, Cody? What's up, Ellie? What you folks saying? You wanna come up?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
This isn't really your prompt or whatever you want us to talk about, but I've just had to have a go at a group of boys on here because they flashed a certain part of their body part online in a live stream where there was kids. Like, it was a live made for kids.
Oh, that's effed up.
Huh?
That's effed up.
Yeah. And I literally said, "You're as bad as a pred." End of.
I guess. What's the context of it?
These people are literally just doing, you know, there's like stupid like joke lives where people come up and say a stupid joke. Majority of kids that come up because they've got nothing better to do. And obviously like 3 boys went up at the same time and all just turned on their cameras. And there was like 100 people in there. But yeah, it's just absurd to me.
Well, it is the internet. So. I'm not saying that it's permissible, but
Yeah.
it's not unexpected.
It wasn't even worth seeing anyways.
Okay. Jesus Christ. It's harsh. Right. But anyways, got any topics you want to debate or talk about?
I'm trying to think.
Oh,
What about economical factors of feminism?
Economical factors of feminism. What does that look like?
Well, how do you think it impacted financial states on a global scale?
That's an interesting question. I think, so just like as a surface view, because obviously I'm not entirely informed about the history of feminism, I do think one could argue, oh, there's that, oh, he's going to kill that guy. Oh, I don't know if I should kill him or not. Right, but yeah, one could argue, right, one of the elements of the early feminist movement was actually about economics, getting the other half of the population into the workforce so you could basically get hold of their money, basically get them to be consumers. So from that point of view, women's rights obviously does have an effect on economics in that way. But beyond that, it's like, yes, there's a certain part of all marketing that's geared towards women, but I don't know if it also has feminist ideology embedded in it too. But yeah, what do you think?
I do believe that economical factors were negative during the feminist movement, because obviously taxes went up, housing went up, and you see how it is all now. But it can also link to capitalism. That's the main issue. Like, I feel like it's all very interlinked. But even if you look throughout history, for example, World War II, obviously men weren't shaving anymore because they were all fighting. So then shaving companies started looking at women. That was when women started shaving their legs and their bodies and stuff like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting how they flipped things around. And even like heels, makeup and stuff, that was all more pushed towards women, especially after the I think it was Edwardian time. That was roughly when it started. And just how like economically multiple companies started targeting women because men weren't using it anymore. It's like, you know, natural things. Funny is around that, by the way. Like makeup, heels, blouses, skirts, dresses, they were all made for men at the start.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Which, yeah, it's just so interesting how it all flips around. But yeah, I just think economically feminism did have a really bad impact, but I don't think it was solely just because of feminism.
But here's the thing, right? Are those things the byproducts of feminism, or are they just like marketing in general, like just marketing to women?
I think they're byproducts, for sure, especially after sexual liberation.
Can you explain why?
Because, for example, if you take beauty standards, especially white women beauty standards, obviously they're rooted in PDF culture, and that's a whole different topic. But the whole shaving, being more short, being skinnier, so GLP-1s like Ozempic was more pushed out to women. And
this is a recent history, no?
Yeah, like past like 20, 25 years.
Okay. What's the history of women's standards and the link to PDFs? Beauty standards, anyways.
So obviously, you know, in like Victorian era, it was very common for like girls like 14, 16, 15-ish to be married off to old men in courtships. So obviously, when life expectancy started rising up, especially for women, we started being pushed more to look more like children, especially white women.
That's fucking mental.
Yeah, to fit into those like beauty standards. So the whole shaven, softer voice, no swearing, submissive, obedient, that type of stuff. And I've also had men who have openly stated that they want a woman who doesn't have a period, which obviously is either a old woman who's gone through menopause, yeah,
What the fuck?
or a prepubescent child, which back then was very common.
That's a super weird request off the bat.
Hmm?
That's a super weird request off the bat. Just in general.
Yeah. So yeah, so like you can even see it nowadays, especially in Hollywood, how more women are going on Ozempics, like Ariana Grande, Chappell Rowan, Megan Trainor, all of those quite popular artists who were very like body positive, have all started losing that weight more, so they fit into that beauty standard, which has been broadcasted more towards women, whereas men are being pushed more to, you know, gain more muscle, get on their steroids, and all of that crap.
Well, I would have thought, well, from put it this way, in my timeline or my algorithm, it would appear that, well, not even just my algorithm, that's like in my world in terms of gym culture and shit, way more women are more inclined to put on muscle and think of muscularity as beautiful now than before, I'd say.
Yeah, which obviously that's more nearly coming to the majority, but the more what's broadcasted and pushed out, if that makes sense. So like for example, as a woman, my For You page, like the ads for TikTok shop, like obviously this is subjective, but I'll get things popping up about waist trainers and take this to be de-bloated, and even like YouTube ads when I'm just sitting down trying to watch a Minecraft video.
You got to switch off that targeted ads thing in your phone.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
You got to switch that shit off. That's probably costing you £1,000 a year.
It's absurd. But yeah, so I do think like obviously a lot more women are going to the gym, but what's pushed out is more be like this, be skinnier, be slimmer, which obviously can also reinforce patriarchal standards of women being weaker, because obviously less muscle, you have a less chance of defending yourself.
You know, I was trying to argue that to someone the other day, and basically it was boiling down to, you know, like men are biologically stronger than women. And I was like, not necessarily, right? If you think about, like, you've got environmental pressures or evolutionary pressures that determine mating standards, and then you've got social constructs that determine mating standards or who's desirable, who's not. You could argue that in the, or you want to say, past couple centuries, that specific cultures have almost designed it so women have a certain type of body. Whereas if you look in other cultures, Polynesians, West Africans, like Huns, I don't even call them Huns anymore, but the body types that those societies produce are different, right? Not just because of the environment, also because of the mate selection process. So is it true to say that women are just generally weaker, or is this just based on a standard that we've produced here?
I believe that is something that's standard.
That's just an opinion.
Yeah, that's why I said white women, because I like a lot of other cultures push, especially like tribes, matriarchal tribes specifically. Women are built in those tribes. Sorry, but
they're Western German. Sorry, they're Western European women who are jacked as well, just genetically massive. There's English women who are genetically massive as well. It's just a matter of, is this the desirable gene pool or not? Or is it allowed to be put that way?
Yeah, I do believe in modern day society and Western countries it is more societal, but in others it's the mating, naturally.
Maybe. But what was you saying before I interrupted anyways?
What was I talking about?
Beauty standards and the effects of feminism on economics.
Yeah, going back to that. Just on an overall spectrum, obviously push for feminism, push for multiple other things, especially like cultural feminism. which can link to like the immigration and the push of certain careers and stuff like that. So I do believe at the end of the day, it's had positive impacts for women, but on a whole general societal level, it has been detrimental and a negative impact economically, and it affects everybody, men and women.
So what are you actually arguing for here? Are you saying it was a bad idea or no?
Honestly, I literally just wanted to ask you what you thought of it, if it was negative or not.
I mean, obviously, I think there's going to be pros and cons in all things in history. And to be honest, history itself is told in a very shaky way, not necessarily a truthful way. So from that perspective, yeah, I can see there being cons. And I can even see people who may critique like the various different waves of feminism and how it may have not shot past the mark, or it's just taken a different direction. So from that point, yeah. But as I said in the beginning, market-wise, I think it was the plan of some avaricious men to get women into the market anyways, to be able to get the money. Whilst obviously other men wanted to maintain a certain level of control over the women. So it both worked in women's favour, but it also kind of works against them now too, as well.
Yeah. And even like the push for like childcare as well.
That's true.
Yeah, I only left school, what was it, like 3-4 years ago?
What, high school?
Secondary.
Bloody hell, how old are you?
I'm 19.
You're lucky you just got past TikTok TOZs, bro.
I'm on there.
You're lucky, mate.
But yeah, and I do believe like certain educational systems, especially in the UK, don't tell everything, especially history. I know it's quite a sensitive topic, but obviously I've read a lot into, for example, the transatlantic slave trade and what the Austrian painter did. I don't know if I can say his name on here. They don't teach you much. They just say, these are people that got unalived and that's it. They don't explain what actually happened. Which I think is such a bad worldview to give children, because they need to understand the different views and perspectives back then historically. Otherwise it will just be repetition at the end of the day.
Yeah, you also got to consider like the invention of the school system as we know it wasn't actually about the like psychological enrichment of children. It's literally creating citizens and workers. So it's not actually in any country's interest to educate their children. You wouldn't want to. Basically, an educated population is a population that's hard to control. So it only makes sense to ever educate a small portion of the population, but only if that small portion of the population is already in allegiance with the ruling class. E.g., why we got our Eatons and all those kinds of things. So yeah, they were never going. Even if you, so not only is it the case that they were never going to put it in a curriculum, the way in which history is recorded isn't actually, it's technically not even legitimate from our Western view. So that critique is also a Western critique. It comes from an English guy, I forget his name, but he introduced the view that history is a polemic. Right, meaning history is written with a critique embedded in it. It's also written ideologically. So a lot of people walk around saying, the victors write history. No, this isn't true, right? We can see in our own day and time the power of media. You could very well lose the war and win the battle of propaganda about it. This is what we've done historically. So in general, how we record history has been dubious for a long time. Obviously it's a fake screen. It's bloody AI, you donut. So what did you think? Like, it's been the same like day and night. But yeah, there's an issue with how we record history in general, and like the methods that produce history, or what history actually is. Like, there's philosophy of history. There's people like Hegel, but it's too much to get into. It's shit that I don't even fully understand, to be honest with you, right? But yeah, so there's a problem of how we record history, and then there's obviously the problem of not wanting to educate the population anyway. So it's kind of it's to be expected.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. Even like as growing up, I always took history lessons with a pinch of salt.
No,
Because at the end of the day, they're not like one. It's probably biased on, especially British Empire caused a lot of stuff to happen globally.
it has to be.
Um,
There's no other way to write history.
yeah, yeah. Which I would much rather just simply read actual like evidence, not written by people in modern day society, like things that we found. Because even yesterday, I actually went to my local museum for the first time, and I
What was that
found a
like?
bunch of like scripts and stuff from like I think maybe 300 years ago. It was really interesting. It really was. Yeah, I love history with like massively, but it is quite annoying when it gets to a point where I'm having to read multiple things to try and cross check it and then see which bits add up, which bits don't.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it. Like, how can you really get we try our best to say we get a holistic picture of history by getting different accounts and different sources, but we can only ever get a picture or perspective on an event. We can't necessarily know the truth of any event. That's the problem of history.
100%.
But anyways, anything
Oh,
else?
I did have a question.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Earlier, your previous live, the one about racism is worse than classism.
Mhm.
Are you saying that in modern day society or historically?
Yeah, just across the board.
Okay.
Oh, damn it! Why? Why'd you ask?
No, just because I'm quite curious, because obviously I do believe classism has been a major issue,
I agree.
and caused more detrimental impacts. Again, I'm not devaluing what racism has done and what it's still doing, because I've seen what's happening in America as well. But I do believe that at the end of the day, classism has caused more detrimental impacts, more unalivements is a big part of it. Like, the way that I see it is the starvation, the poverty, you know, women as well who can't bring up their kids, so they leave them to unalive by themselves throughout history. So I do believe, like, at the end of the day, we've always had that system in place where we've always had classes. Meanwhile, I do think with race.
No, we haven't always had classes. Like the view of classism and classes are fairly recent in human history, but it's true to say there's always been hierarchies, but not necessarily classes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You worded it better than I ever could. But like, for example, like monarchy throughout history, especially in England, that's always been an issue. Which I do believe that's where it comes to a point where it has caused majority of numbers, if that makes sense, compared to racism. Meanwhile, racism has caused mass issues in a shorter period of time, if that makes sense. Like transatlantic slave trade was a big part of it. And that caused massive impacts. But if that was in a shorter period of time, then how class and hierarchy has impacted people.
Yeah, you're right in a sense, right? From your perspective, I would say. But if you was to just to simplify it, I know it might be a bit reductive to say, but race is something that the subject cannot do anything about. Okay, the subject of the discrimination. Race is something the subject actually can't do anything about, because race is invented, but it's based on all these other views that people have on you. Whereas class is something the subjects can do something about. Now, the perpetrators of racism can do something about racism, but the victims of racism can't necessarily do anything about racism. So from that standpoint, it's worse. And if you think about if you're weighing it up on, all right, how many people have died, kind of thing, it is reasonable to say yes, more people have died through class warfare in mainland Europe than people have died in transatlantic slave trade. But well, actually, I don't know if that's true, because I think the last time I saw it was like 500 million or something like that, just in that one period of slavery. So I don't know how far that extends. And that's just black people from Africa. What about Indians? What about Chinese people? What about different ethnicities inside of Europe? Like, in the 90s they had the I forget what it's called, Bosnian War, which is basically fueled on racism. So it's not something that exclusively damages black people, but in recent history we've been the primary targets of it. So from that point of view, I would say it's worse, and what's behind it is more insidious than what's behind class. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
have
true.
actually
Just check that is actually true. Jews are also persecuted. Although, right, yeah, we would end up playing a dangerous game by saying, well, who can be racially abused and who can't? Well, there are parameters for that, considering how racism was invented and who it was invented by. So Jews would probably still fall underneath that category of who can be who can experience racism, who can't.
Yeah, I do. The mate, like, because I have seen this quite often now, especially where I live, the increase of anti-Semitism and racism has had a major increase in this generation again. Especially like more conservative views. Like, it's no centre anymore. It's simply you're radical or you're conservative, and you stay with old times.
What we think of as conservatives now, they are radical in comparison to conservatives of the past. That's just kind of how the Overton window works. And the same thing could be said about some leftists. Not all, but some.
Oh no, I agree. You get extremes in all types of groups, always. Yeah. But yeah, I am just quite worried, given, because obviously I do read a lot more into like American politics and what's going on over there. And there has been a lot of lynchings.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And it is really worrying. And they passed a bill, I can't remember what it's called and what state it is, but they passed a bill where women of colour can't vote, essentially. Which is, I generally do believe America is regressing.
I think it's a repeal.
I'm not sure.
It's a repeal of a voting rights. I'm actually not informed on it, so I can't really say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty bad. Again, in terms of that particular topic, that's a topic I've been thinking about for a while, but I've not gathered the information and sources to be well informed on it. It's just the inclination I have, and I'm interested to hear arguments for and counter arguments around it. So I've not really formed a solid argument for it yet.
Yeah.
But,
well, to be that, you have changed my view, centering around that. Oh my god, centering around that topic.
It's just a view, right? Like, no one's telling you that you have to adopt that view, but it's interesting to say, like, yes, a black person would experience classism, an Indian person would experience classism, a white person would experience classism, but do they still experience racism on top of the classism equally? No.
I do believe that also they do somewhat go hand in hand to a certain extent.
Yes. You could say, elements of classism are responsible for the invention of racism. At least from like a Western perspective, but people who are more scholarly in the matter might disagree and be able to cite exactly how. I don't know.
Do you have anybody else requesting, or do you want me to stay up?
Nah, that other person's me. You can stay, you can go, you can do what you want.
Okay.
Damn it! Oh, no! It's close. I just need to get to the other side.
Smoke should be banned. What? Well, okay. Because obviously I do vape, so it's going to be a bit biased, but with smoking, as someone who had a mother who smoked for 27 years, it is impacting your health. At the end of the day, it is going to decrease your life expectancy as well. So people are justified in worrying about it, and it isn't a good coping mechanism. A lot of people start smoking socially now, and then they start getting addicted to it, which is really depressing, especially when in teenagers. But yeah, at the end of the day, the minute you're addicted, it is really hard to get off, coming from experience.
Yeah, so I think the earliest debuts of smoking between the ages of 9 and 13. And like, so stats, last time I checked, 1.3 billion smokers in the world. 80% of them start before 20. The majority of them are chemically dependent by the time they're 18. So really, it's not only a health epidemic, but it primarily targets children. You could say people under the age of 21, people under the age of 25.
Yeah, especially a bit of like the whole vaping and stuff. The way that they market it, it's appealing to younger people. At the end of the day, it's not like, obviously with smoking, at least they have pictures. This is what can happen to your lungs. This is what happens to your heart when you start doing this. Then with vaping, it's these pretty little colours and candy canes and cotton candy and all this crap. Like, I go in to get
Do you
my
say
liquid.
nanobots? That's funny.
It's just bullshit.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
But yeah, I do think it's just very worrying. And to be fair, what the government has put in place with was it 2009 upwards? Can't,
The Ash Act, I think it's called.
yeah, they can't purchase vapes or.
I don't know if that's fully come to play yet, and I don't even know if Burnham will make sure it does either. I'm not even sure.
Do you like Birmingham?
I'm not really like a fan of elective, if you call it elective politics, so I don't really pay that much attention.
Okay, yeah.
I would say.
Huh?
It's always interesting how we end up with prime ministers that no one voted for. That's what I would say.
Because it's all planned out.
Yeah, you could say that. That is true.
We already know who's going to win at the end of the day. Like, you saw it with fucking, what's his name? BJ, Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson was an interesting character. I still think he is. I think he's ridiculously smart, but smart enough to act a fool.
What up, Set?
What's up, bro?
He was a funny person, but he was a bad person as well. And
I thought I had you followed.
Say what?
I thought I had you followed. I just followed you. I swear I had you followed, but I guess I didn't.
Oh,
I
no.
love what you're doing, dude. I just wanted to come up here. I love what you're doing, dude. It's awesome.
I appreciate
It's
that.
awesome.
Appreciate that, bro. Void, what's up, too? I see you on stage.
What's good, man?
Open panel, you guys can talk about whatever, or what's on the screen, it's up to you.
Well, I mean,
What game are you playing? Are you playing the first Dark Souls or?
Yeah, it's the remake, though.
Oh, nice. I play Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
I don't think banning smoking would really do anything.
What?
I
I
think they
mean-
should have cigarettes at least. Cigarettes are bad.
Well, I mean, I don't do any of that. I've been sober basically my entire life, but
Congratulations,
I just
bro.
appreciate that, man. But I just don't think that banning it would do much of a difference. Obviously, it would change a lot, but I don't think it would, because most of the people that smoke nowadays or do any of that sort of substances are doing it illegally.
This is
Well, it's a
true.
moneymaker, right?
You said what?
It's a moneymaker, right? On the streets and in the
It is. But most of that money that is being made is already illegal, so banning it wouldn't do
Wait,
much.
are you talking about cannabis?
I'm talking about everything.
Well, obviously tobacco sale wasn't illegal.
You said what?
Tobacco.
Well, tobacco is also being used with people who are not allowed to smoke.
Yeah,
Smoke.
underage people, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's true.
which a lot of it does come from there too. But there's a lot of, well, no, that's not true actually.
Oh, why?
Cigarettes do come from the overage, so. But a lot of underage do smoke tobacco also.
No, this is true. Like, I don't think right. So even if I was to lay out the strategy, the exact strategy of how we would get out of society, this isn't 100% bulletproof, right? If that makes sense. There are going to be people who still access the product, people who may even go out of their way to actually grow it and distribute it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's not 100% foolproof, put it that way. But yes, there are going to be people who access it, but there are strategies and tactics you can put in play which mitigate against that.
Yeah, I
You
do.
think a lot about like with growing up too, like because like you know, as a young kid and seeing like your siblings or like your mom and dad smoking or whatever, then maybe one would smoke when they're older just because they've been around it for so long. But I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, but I mean, my mom and dad both do and have my whole life. So maybe it's a percentage of people maybe growing up. I don't know.
Yeah, there's right. So there's two things to that. There's positive influence and there's negative influence. A good analogy, or just like a folk type of story. So there's two brothers, right, they're twins, but they got an abusive dad who's an alcoholic, beats the mum up, beats the kids up. The two brothers grow up in the same house, they have the same experience. When they get older, one brother becomes an alcoholic, becomes just like the dad. One brother stays sober and isn't like the dad. When they're asked, why did you turn out the way you turned out? The alcoholic says, like, look how I grew up, what do you expect? I was always going to turn out this way. When you ask the other one, why didn't you turn out like your dad? He says, look what I grew up around. Like, what do you expect? I was always going to turn out this way. So some people are negatively influenced to do things, and some people are positively influenced to do things, and some people are negatively influenced, e.g. deterred from doing things based on their examples. But that being said, obviously if you grow up in proximity to drug abuse, alcohol abuse, tobacco, etc., you are significantly more inclined to try it or have opportunities to be exposed to it when parents and guardians aren't watching you. So
Yeah,
you
I
may
mean,
may have just slipped through the cracks. You know?
Yeah, I grew up around. Sorry for interrupting you.
No,
I
you're
grew
good.
I grew up around drug abuse and alcohol abuse, and the only reason I've stayed sober is because I've seen what it's done to people. But the people who grew up around me, they're all they all do abuse substances and
I'll be back. I gotta go.
uh, all that kind of stuff, and it's kind of rare for me to meet people nowadays that do not do any of that.
But I guess that would be anecdotal though. I think in terms of just the alcohol topic as like a separate, I think it's somewhat documented statistically. Younger generations are less inclined to be drinkers now. I think that has a lot to do with post-pandemic and the lack of third spaces and all these things, and also more health consciousness in society. So there are people who will probably make it to 20. There's probably more people who will make it past 25 without drinking and smoking than there was in the past, a bit like that. But yeah, to say that they're not going to exist. I don't know if you could say that.
I mean, I'm 19, so people my age, I think I've only met two people. Well, there's been some people I've talked to, but people that I know personally, there's only two people that have never drinking or smoked. Most of the people my age, around my age nowadays, have drinking, and they've done it since they were young. Like, I'm talking preteen. Most of those people, but it also depends on where I'm at. But I'm in Florida, and most of those people either only drink or they drink and do other substances.
I hear it. So there's obviously a level of culture involved as well. What is normalized where you live that will influence it. What is in the public consciousness at the time? Are there like big smash hit songs about raving or smash hit songs about drug use? Is there influential TV shows? All of these things have a big impact on what culture is going to do at any given time. Also economics matters a lot. Are we having like a, I think we could say like a boom or a bust economy, or bear or a bull economy. Those things have an influence on what is popular or prevalent as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I feel like growing up in Florida, there was not even just in the personal circle, in like economics and just what's in the media around Florida. I think there was a lot of substance influence, a lot of alcohol influence, just in like music culture and just what goes on in Florida, because Florida is a very eventful place.
yeah, here it's very party orientated.
Yeah,
Well, at least Miami,
definitely.
from what I've heard. Still got to see Miami.
Yeah,
From what
Miami,
I've heard.
for sure. But also those parts, like party oriented, yeah. I think more of the alcohol abuse comes from the countryside of Florida, though, because there's a lot of rural parts in Florida, and all the kids do there is drink and just well, I mean, I guess it's parties too, but they usually just drink, hunt, and kids are usually when they're young are put. Well, I guess it comes from their parents too, but their parents usually introduce them into alcohol around a young age, so they grow up just doing that. So it's just normalized for them.
Yes, it has a lot to do with culture at the end of the day, and what's normalized
Yeah.
where you live. But we can't. Right, for instance, on the topic of alcohol, we also can't ignore the history of things like This is kind of where the class stuff comes into it. What the hell? Things like class and feudal lords in Britain and stuff like that. Why people are geared towards producing certain types of crops, certain types of produce, e.g., milks, breads, alcohols, fermentation processes, etc., etc. Historically, alcohol, even during Roman times, has been used as somewhat of a coping mechanism for struggling societies. So, if that culture is prevalent in like a Western type of place, it's also going to play out in today's time. So, culturally, alcoholism has been baked in since those times, like the oppression of the Romans, the oppression of the various different invasions of Britain for us enemies, and the feudal lord system to monarchy and to capitalism. Like alcoholism was there through all of it. The comfort. This is why we have more pubs than we have hospitals. I think we have more pubs than we have schools, because it's a social bonding tool, but it's also a cope, self-medication to keep the civilians docile. really. So yeah, like if you obviously smoking and alcohol are two different types of topics, but people like to like cross-pollinate them, if you will, because they're both intoxicants. But the history of alcoholism is much deeper culturally than the history of smoking. Smoking is, at least smoking tobacco, as far as I understand it, is something that was introduced to Europe a couple centuries ago. Right? I could be wrong, because I don't think the tobacco plant is actually native to Europe. But I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure.
But alcohol.
Yeah, I never thought about the alcohol like that in that way.
But yeah.
I guess when you look at the history of both of them, alcohol is way deeper. Yeah. Than smoking.
Even down to the other uses of it, instead of just like drinking it to get drunk, like as alternatives to drinking waters and things like this. There are events in history where alcohol has been depended upon, like wines and beers and shit, because of lack of clean drinking waters and stuff. So there's interesting things like that.
Yeah, and even other use, just like in healthcare and in the kitchen. They still need to produce it for that. So then they're also like might as well produce it for the other way.
Well, yeah, like if you lived in I don't know, maybe like some type of Saudi Arabian culture or something like that, or like a heavily religious culture where alcohol is not just something that's not accessible and it's not part of the culture, then of course you're going to have a reduced alcoholism type of rate. A lot of it has to do with proximity and the culture of the people.
Yeah.
One could argue tobacco consumption and production is something that is absolutely market driven. It's something that basically the desire to smoke has to be manufactured in you, and then you have to go out there and act upon it by either being influenced by your friends and family or actually just going to the shop and getting it yourself. Alcohol is a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, I have to go. Appreciate you for letting me up, man.
No worries, bro. Alright. I forget who it was, Ellie and someone else. Thanks kind of also. It's Dark Souls 1. What do I mean? Humans invented God. I think there's more evidence of us inventing gods historically than there is of gods existing independently of us or at all. You're welcome to come up and change my mind. As tired as I am, and I don't know, I'm just post dinner. I'm just like this. Although I've got a second plate that I've got to go eat. If you catch me in the daytime, I might be a little bit more sharp and able to explain it a bit clearer. Let's see what we got here. Oh, actually, I think I may be playing the game in the wrong order. Oh, you little shit. No, look at. What's just that? Get off. No way in my life. Oh my gosh, you. Ah, I almost got him as well. Anyways, yeah, for recreational consumption, yeah, I do think it should be banned too. For other uses, no. We're gonna give this a couple more shots, see if we can get to the boss fight. I'm gonna call that a day. Yeah, it's like 10 o'clock. See if I can speed run it. Gotta get that one guy that keeps respawning them. Oh, you cheat. Just rolled into me, you know. There he is. Oh shit. Don't get distracted. The halberd sometimes. Oh no! Still swipe. Yeah! No! Quick, quick! Yeah, that's him out of the way. Piss off. That's not the one I want, is it? Oh, I've lost my bearings. Yeah, I came this way. Get off. Might even get lucky and run into patches in a minute. If we can get down there. No, we're not getting down there. Move! The hell? What's up, guard? No, no, leave him. Oh, twice in a row. Mugged me off. Come on, just ignore them, just ignore them. Yeah. No, don't lock on. No, he's gonna push me up the stairs. Yikes, I ain't got no more flasks. You can piss off. And you can piss off. Oh. Alright, as long as we get these done. Ah. I swear they got that move from Killer Instinct. Yeah, I'm dead just from a fool I'll die. That sucks. Just from the fool I'll die. Shit. Damn it. Alright, at least we know we can get there now. Like the makers of this game, they knew you'd run into certain things and just get stuck there. Oh, he always gets me. Oh my days! I just need to restart now. It's too many hits too quick. You could try that, but I'll mess up. Reaction time is in the ground. Oh my gosh, I should just play something else at this point. Yeah, I think humans are better gods. You're welcome to change my mind about that if you want. Alright. Let's say we do try a shield on. Can he manage that? Not entirely, but it's not the worst. You can request up if you want to talk, you know. I'm not much in a monologuing mood. See how they act different with a shield? It's like they know. So they switch up their tactic. Punk. This is not the way. I'm trapped. Oh, got through. This is also not the way. I don't need the souls. Oh, wait. There we go. Yep, did that already. So close. Drink. How, bro? You stink bastard. He's gonna get in the way. Quick, bro. Sleep. Hey, Shark, coming up if you want to talk to me. Don't know what you're saying in the chat though. Innit? You'll spoil my focus. Well, yeah, in a sense, guess. God, that was lucky. He's going to respawn. Save. I remember the first time I played this, getting stuck down there for ages. These little stupid cartwheel things. Piss off! Damn it! Yeah, it only takes one to mess up the plan. I don't want to change straight to a shield and sword combo, but we're really slow right now. Go off. No! Yeah, messed up. No, I know better as well, every time! No, fuck's sake. I may have to just kill one or two of them. So annoying. Alright. It's him. Oh gosh. I like this close to throwing the controller. No, man! Oh my god! These fucks! This is why I was stuck here the first time for so long. Oh my god. Here comes. Fuck you. There was something you could do to them as well. I can't remember what it is. Go through there now. Damn fool. Alright, now let's have a fight. There's a trick to this fight too. I do think I may be here too early in the game though. Is he spinning or something like that? Does he clone? That's what he does. Oh yeah, I'm cooked. Yep, gonna need armor. Dead. And maybe even a Kindle. Bruv, relax. 4 man already is crazy work. Ah, no, I'm a fool. It's you? No. Yes, it's him. Halberd! No! I'm out of light. Yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go. Slap, 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 slap. See ya. Mask of the brother. Oh shit, I messed up the table. Alright. I'm sure there was something here. I can't take this. There's a ladder or something to get out of here. Hey, someone said that to me earlier on, Jungle Bro, but I have no idea if that's true. I'm not even certain if there is nanobots in the body. That sounds like some Metal Gear Solid type shit. So, I don't know what to tell you. I've not looked into it. There was a way to light this path. I never did get the bloody helmet though. Okay. Don't want those combinations. It's broken. Might still work though. Wait, which one is broken? Aura, oh bro, you trolling? Aura protection from energy weapons. How about you come up here, Jungle Bro? Be much easier to hear you say it instead of reading it. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. I'm gonna kill Patches, bro. Ah, I forgot about those guys. They are too strong for me right now. Patches, you bastard, where are you? Actually, no, if I kill him, then will I get to do that other little side quest fight at the bottom? No, man. Move it. Yo, bitch. Little bitch.
You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs?
How many times can we kill this guy in every game? Well, it's not every game, but it's in most of them.
I guessed as much. Well, here's a tip. There's a stash of treasure right down that hole.
You can't.
Well, you're the cleric, right? I owe you for all that.
Oh, you slag. Alright, hold on. No. Even talking to the guy gets you killed. That's like, you know, like there's some people in life that you're just better off not knowing. There's a Patches in all of our lives. I'm not running back there. I can't be bothered now. I'll do it tomorrow. But yes, be mindful there is a Patches in your life too. Anyways, I'll see you later. The stream will end.